Hello, 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 and welcome to the $1 Million Electrician Podcast, where we help home service pros like you supercharge your business and spark up those sales.
I'm Joseph Lucani, and together with my co-host, Clay Newmeyer, we're here to share the secrets that have helped electricians sell over $1 million from a single service van.
Now, it's time for sales. It's time for scale. It's time to become $1 million electrician. Hello, 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 and welcome back. Joe, last week you complained about the three hellos. This week I wanted to give it to you and light everybody up. If I'm being honest, it's December 4th, if you can believe that. At the time of this recording, this should be out by December 5th already. We work it quick, but I'm feeling some energy right now. And if it's cool, I just want to embrace that energy for this podcast, because I know there's a lot of other electricpreneurs, that's a term we haven't used in a while, that are feeling the December pressure, that are feeling that end of the year, that are feeling the vision forward for 2025. What should we be focused on? And focus is a huge conversation in our company right now as we try to dial our efficiencies up, turn up the fuel to this fire, and make some magic happen, brother. What do you say we dive into that stuff today?
I am so down. Pull the ripcord, because you're right. It is December, and mentally it feels like August still. Like it should feel like the leaves should still be on the trees, but like time just moves in one direction and it goes fast.
It does. It rips right by. And when you're focused on growth, as we have been, and you know what, let's just acknowledge some of the feedback that we've had from many of our clients or people just in our community that have been side by side with us this whole time, building and growing with us, is that people can appreciate that we started this January 1st last year, and we've been growing service. So just like we encourage you guys to grow your electrical organizations, and that's aggressive, and we wouldn't have it any other way. For me, I believe in grow or die. Joe, what about you?
I mean, that's literally how I built my life. It's either we're going to survive or we are going to curl up and die. And I choose life. So you'll be damned if you see me lying down.
Yeah. And if you wanted to hear those stories, of course, we did podcasts on our personal stories and the things that drive us to be here. Suffice it to say, we're not going anywhere. We're still as engaged, as fired up as ever before, with more happening than ever before. And that brings me to, before we jump into this and help you guys with a refocus for the end of the year on your sales and some of the stuff that we deem most important for you, especially, dare I say, time management. Like, we've got some gold nuggets coming. You guys aren't going to want to miss this, but we've got some wins that need to be shared. We had some great ones last week. There was a favorite from one of our newer clients, Peter, that came in. Joe, Do you know the details of what happened there?
Yeah. So from what I understanding, Pete went out to a call, which was, I think, was it a trip GFI or a smoke detector? It was a smoke detector, I think, needing a battery or something like that. And he was saying like the typical call would have been like under $500, but it was his first time ever using the process. It was his first time ever building 6 options. He built 6 options for it. I think the total was like 22,000. He told the platinum option.
You undersold it. So I'm going to help you out here. 26.5K first platinum sale on his first time ever presenting 6 options. If this doesn't light a fire for you guys out there listening to this, please hear this again. A call that he otherwise would have not offered at least as many options, would have likely been in the hundreds of dollars, became a 26.5K sale. Joe, why does this happen?
The reason why it happens is because we're not playing financial advisor to our customers. Instead, what we're doing is we're giving them the freedom that they come to expect from us. They can choose a premium solution. They could choose a mid-grade solution. They can choose an economy solution. On our premium grade, you do nothing but write the check. On the economy, we're giving you out a hard hat and working with us. They chose to not lift a finger. They wanted a permanent fix. They wanted better than anyone was going to offer them. And they wanted a turnkey solution where they had to do nothing but just sign the dot. And they did. The biggest concern of why that's such a big deal is that you would have actually realized you could have lost this sale trying to offer it the way you're currently doing it, which is by just offering that bottom option repair. Now it put you in the commodity box with everyone else compared to actually being a service provider.
Absolutely. And not only is this the right thing to do to give people some insights to their system, in fact, that's the big word I want to use here. Do you know what makes you guys different than every other provider in your area? the insights you have and how you leverage them in your commitment to serve people the way that they want to be served. And just like Joe said, you're wrong if you're assuming in how they want to be served. You might think they want the lowest price, and heck, they might even show signs of wanting that. But until the rubber meets the road and you really get to a place where you lay out the different service options in front of them, they don't even know that for a fact yet. Because if you truly provide that great experience and they truly trust and bond with you in a way that they realize, wow, we don't trust anyone else. And he did add things that we wanted to get done anyway. And so, is this something we want to do now? And they have the potential to choose that now. So, leveraging your unique insights and process, that's what makes you different. And as so long as you don't do that, so long as you don't leverage your insights, so long as you don't stick to your offer, so long as you don't make your offer something that creates choice for people, dare I say, you're underselling it too. Another win, Joe. You ready for it?
Ready for it. Rip the cord.
Okay. One of our recent signed clients, going on third month now, hoping to have this fella on a podcast very soon to bring you guys all the details, averaging 80K months before 60 to 80K, 80K kind of the high. Second month with us hits $138,000. He was just in class on Monday. We talked about marketing. It turns out he's at about a 50% of what they can handle from their humble couple of vans out there working. And in November, he didn't do 138K, unfortunately. He did $168,000, doubling from 80 to 168,000. And we still found there's room. And so our efforts now are targeted at leads. Why? Because their average ticket's like $22.50 and the conversion rate's like 57%. Is it great? No, but it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And if those numbers are your numbers and you know that you're still having like a 40 to 50% open schedule potential, then oh my God, is this ever magic? All there is to do is add fuel to the fire, which is the very reason we came together today for this podcast. My God, am I proud of Mike and those wins, Joe.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's one of those things where seeing where someone was and seeing what they can now do is an absolute game changer, both not just financially, but also mentally and emotionally. Because when you can see that there's a wide open road ahead of you and you're in an open ocean, it's what was I doing previously? It's hard to unsee once Pandora's box has been opened. So now the fact that he was doing and now plus 100,000, he doubled his thing. He's ready to go. Now anything less than that is going to be a downside.
Absolutely. Now, I know you've got some ways that you'd love to take this podcast to, and I don't want to steamroll this thing. I'm just riding the energy I'm on, brother, trying to give it to our viewers and listeners. There's something really important. I wanted to start with quoting Jim Rohn on this, our late great mentor. When it comes to focus, it's important that we don't major on minor things. What does that mean to you, Joe?
That means like someone who's going to say, hey, I don't have work right now. I know I should go work on my price book. That'll help me.
Why is that a problem?
Well, how is that getting your foot in the door in anyone? If you're going to say, I work on my price book and you got your price book super dialed in, and let's say theoretically became perfect, but you had no one to go to deliver to. And then when you actually met that person, you didn't have a process to follow because you haven't been practicing it. And then when the objections come, you stumble because you haven't been practicing that either. That's you saying, I've done all the minor stuff, but all the big things that were actually going to turn this needle forward, I neglected. Cleaning the van.
It reminds me of this expression, the magic you seek is in the work you're avoiding.
Yep.
Will you tell me, in your opinion, why do you think this happens to people? Why do you think if we know, hey, I'm not busy today, that's a problem, so I'll work on a price book. And if anyone asked you, like you just clearly pointed out, well, does the price book get you clients or keep you clients? Oh, it does neither of those. Oh, so why are you doing it? Why do people do these things, Joe, in your opinion?
Well, there's a lot of things that also come from like a personal standpoint, in that a lot of us as business owners come from a place of overwhelm where we're sitting and we're seeing it from the bird's eye view and we see so many things and know that we have to do something, that will often grab the first thing we feel capable of doing. The problem is the levers that actually grow our company are often outside our comfort zones. And people aren't willing to go past their comfort zones unless they are really pushed to do so. Such as, if I can give a personal example, me being an autistic individual, I struggle with, socialization and really putting myself out there, which as a result would mean that I would limit and reduce my marketing because I didn't know how to put myself out there. But something that you've taught me how to do so well is by pushing past that emotional boundary. And now it's a primary thing I focus on. It's the first thing that I do. So now I know that the activities I'm doing, even though they may make me uncomfortable, are the ones that produce the biggest fruit.
Mm, really important there. And I'm glad you started with marketing because that's a big piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Many people, many people jump on calls with us concerned with lead flow, doing nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the strangest happening ever. And I mean, there's two ways to build your marketing up. You can invest in someone to do things for you through money, currency, invest currency for them to want to exchange for that work for you, or you can invest time. And ironically, even when the leads are low, people still won't invest time. The most obvious thing to do, right? Like social media, consider this a highway, folks. And every day, you know that everyone in your network, and if you're in groups, everyone in those groups, they're driving down that highway at certain times of the day. Don't worry about the best time to put a sign up. Don't worry about anything other than going into your office, recognizing that you've got a stake on this highway and putting a sign up because you're one of two types of people. You're either reading signs or you're putting them up and trying to compel people to see what it is you do. It's incredible how people get this wrong.
I agree with you.
Don't major on minor things. Again, the magic you seek is in the work you're avoiding. I'm going to add one more quote to this if I can to really help drive you guys for this big push for December. And we've got some big interviews, so don't think the action's going to end here. There are some absolute show-stopping podcasts coming that are going to prove this stuff to you guys more than ever before and open your eyes even more and give you even more actionable steps to take to see your company blow up. Darren Hardy, another guy who was a mentor for many years, publisher of Success Magazine. He said this, and it really rocked me the first time I heard this. Adults do what they need to do. Children do what they want to do. The same question I asked you, Joe, why do we work on the price book? Because we think it's cool. Because it's technology, it's fancy, right?
Work on my AI, like that's what we're doing.
It's the same reason people leave a CRM, right? Like Jobber, let's use that as an example. One of the simplest CRMs that you could buy today and implement tomorrow, get a single training session, and you could put 4 vans on it and everyone be using it. Increase your communication if you didn't have a CRM, right? You could do that in a single heartbeat. And one of our clients who's due to come back for a 1-year review here, Dan, right, is still on Jobber. They're approaching 2.8 million with 7 vans. Yes, there's a side of this. It's like, well, what if he was on Service Titan and look at all the amazing things then? And we'll get into that too. And I agree. Yeah, what if there are some levers, but he hasn't wasted any freaking time on anything but focusing on what counts, doing the hard stuff, because the magic is in the stuff they're doing. I promise you, that's the recipe for 2.8 million from a company that size in their second full year of business. Remarkable growth.
I love Dan. I love what he does, and I love how he always focuses on, keeps his eye on the ball and knows how to put it on target.
So instead of looking at the next shiny object, right? This is the thing. Right now, guys, December 2024, you've still got time to have a look at this and see, where am I majoring on minor things? Let's use a sales process example, can we?
I love it. Make it happen.
Many people exploring the new AI features, AI ride-alongs, us included. Very excited to rediscuss this again in a couple episodes and unveil an inevitable partnership that is coming with us and a major provider that's going to just expand our services and our ability to serve to the highest level. I'm so excited. If you're excited, you go ahead, comment, ask us any questions you want. You'll be first to know when that conversation fully unravels. But this, like many shiny objects, this is actually something that's building up. And what it's doing is giving us insights to what parts of the process we're actually following.
Mm-hmm.
So, example, the old way of focusing on sales is to say, well, I met another partner objection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I met another partner objection. Gosh, that's 7 partner objections this week, Joe. I really need to work on my partner objection handling. Would you start there, Joe, or would you look for something earlier in the process?
I would say, are you doing the now or later step, which confirms whether this customer is actually the right person to talk to, if this is the right time to talk to them, and if they'd rather ensure that someone else can be present with them. If you can get the right people at the right time and give them the right price, the sale is yours to lose. So rather than focusing on putting a patch on it, I'm just going to go seal the hole. Be like, this is the way we're going to solve the problem. Don't handle the objection, just prevent it from coming in the first place.
Love that. Really good share. And I love that you said the right people, right time, right place. That is so important. And right now is the right time for you guys to really have a look at your process. And by the way, right now, giving a couple value pieces away, again, we've had a lot of hands come up for our pricing, our complimentary pricing tool. It's a little school. You literally join our academy for, I think there's 7 lessons in there taught by myself and Joe to help you get your personal finances correct in there and properly budgeted, to then help you map out your burdens, your growth for 2025, and the profitability that you want, not to mention what we call our SSR, that simple service rate, to help you do like Peter did and crank out solutions in record time and make record sales without needing the fancy price book that we tend to go and spend time on when really we needed leads in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want that price tool, if you haven't seen that latest version of it, if you want to grab that, all you got to do is comment, throw your hand up, or send us a message on Facebook at $1 Million Electrician in the group, Clay Newmeyer, Joseph Lucani, at Instagram, clay.newmeyer. You can get us there and see many 1 minute or less reels to help you in your business. On our YouTube channel, you can leave a comment there. You can go to our website as well, servicebyelectricians.com, and follow along, as well as use our contact form. In any of those places, if you request this price tool, we're going to help you get your pricing right for 2025. And I'll make you a promise right now.
I'm for it.
If you get your pricing right, build that budget for next year, use our tools to do that, and you see that you've been missing something, that something fell off the plan, that there were things missed and your pricing needed to be updated, and you've got a new price that matches where you're going, and you yourself are a committed captain ready to take action and follow through on that priced plan for 2025, then I guarantee you will see a revenue increase with nothing else changed. And I'll make you another promise before we end this one.
Sweeten the pot, Clay.
If you hear that little voice, and you will, that says, we're priced too high, that says, give a discount, that says, maybe I'll just do this one-time material, that says, maybe I'll just cut some slack for this person and not offer any options and just put whatever they're asking, screws in a box or what have you. If you listen to that voice, your progress will be diminished and you'll be reduced back to not the biggest vision, but the lowest standards that you held yourself to in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, do you have anything to add to that?
You know, I really feel like you're hitting the nail on the head, but at the end of the day, put your faith in front of your fear. What I mean by that is that so many times we let our fear guide our next actions of what could happen instead of the faith of what we want to happen. I'm willing to risk it for a big reward. Are you?
I'm going to let that sit for a sec. Risk it for the biscuit, folks. Cheers to your success and a strong finish to 2024.
Namaskaram. You have a blessed day.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the $1 Million Electrician podcast.
We hope you're buzzing with new ideas that charged up to take your business to the next level.
So don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the show with fellow electricians. Together, we'll keep the current flowing.